what's it called? Phil Jackson was 66 when he stopped coaching. And I want to know. I'd like to know the old, like how old Red Auerbach was, because I think he holds the record right now. But at the same time, he's got to be retired. He's got to be doing nothing. Maybe a small organizational role, but he's got to get up out of there. I think we're all in agreement. Well, maybe we're all in agreement he should be out of there. Becky Hammond. Does anybody have a problem with a woman?
Why?
Why'd you say it like that?
I'm just saying. Does
You
anybody
said it
have
like
a
you was
problem?
prepared for
You have any
discourse,
problem with Becky Hammond,
Turns off his
aka
camera.
Yeah.
a woman?
I had to turn it off. Does anybody have a problem with a woman?
No, I'm all for
I
her
do
being
not.
coached.
She is the most
qualified.
qualified person for that position.
I
She should
agree.
take it.
Swear
It
you
looks like it's
you
her
all
job.
for women? That's what you're saying? Oh my god, the camera's going crazy.
That's what you get.
Camera is going crazy. So you're all for a woman, is what you're
Yes,
saying?
all for a woman coaching the Spurs. Yes, that woman, not just a woman. That woman coaching the Spurs.
That part.
Let's look at a little salary cap stuff.
Oh yeah.
That year would be the 2024-25 season. Only people that will be on the book so far is Derek White, Josh Primo, and Devin Vassell. Dejounte Murray, I mean, we're coming up on contract negotiations. Everybody else is gonna be off the books at that point. I'm not gonna lie, get rid of all of them. That's my thing. Start from the bottom.
Even Murray.
Josh Primo is 12. And I don't mean Josh Primo. I don't mean Josh Primo. Let me say I don't mean Josh Primo. Josh Primo is 12. But the rest of them niggas, get them out of here. Let's start from the bottom up.
Even Murray though? Because Murray's on a really good deal, in my opinion.
He's cool. Let's try to get better assets while he's still cool, is my thing. Does that make sense?
I mean,
No.
Well, go ahead, Sage. Go ahead.
I think the issue with the Spurs, they're trying to believe in Murray to be their guy at such a discounted price, versus just understanding that you got to steal in terms of what you're paying him for. I think if you have Dejounte Murray on that deal, but you don't view him as your franchise point guard, he's perfectly fine being there. I think their issue is they're giving him touches and putting him in situations and so focused on him like he really has the potential to be their guy. And he's like at peak two-time All-Star. Not saying he's a scrub for anybody out there, but I don't see some crazy high potential for bro. But I think he'll be a solid player. I think those are one of those contracts that you definitely keep. But I agree with you, everybody else, like Derek White, Doug McDermott, Zach Collins. They have a bunch of 1 year, 2 years anyway for a reason.
I would definitely say, I guess I just have too much stock and belief in Dejounte Murray because, nigga, no one's seen him having this kind of a season, let alone being like first option for that team. I'm not going to say he's a permanent first option, but definitely with the team you have now, plays just fine. And I feel like the NBA is so talented, so it's hard for me to say he's anything more than a two-time All-Star because there's so much talent in the league. So accolade-wise, I can't even touch on that. I'll let the media handle that. But he's a great player. I would personally keep Jakob Porter for the time being. He's on a good deal. Probably have to check and see how long that deal is. But last time I checked, he's on a solid deal for a player of his caliber and what he does for your team. I wouldn't give up on Devin Vassell just yet. After next year, the writing on the wall for Keldon Johnson will be in after next season. I'll give him one more season.
I'm not a fan of Keldon. I'm sorry. I meant to say that in my mouth. I meant to keep that in my mind. Shit, my fault. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, Keldon, the offseason he had, the work he put in, it just seemed like he was going to take this leap, and he didn't take it yet. So if he doesn't take that leap, then yeah, away with him. But I feel like it's still potential for him to take that leap. Just like with any young player, that's like vague to say, the potential's there. But still.
You feel like Pop forced him on that USA team?
No.
I feel like he deserved to be on that USA team?
Personally, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Out of all the players that said they didn't want to play, I mean, shit, who do you think should have been on it? Hell, niggas didn't want to play.
Kyle Kuzma. You got any thoughts?
Kyle Kuzma. Not Kobe Kuz. I don't know. I said this on the last pod. The Spurs are one of those teams where, like, I truly don't care about them, and once they start popping off, I'll take a look. But like, I'm just not looking that direction. I'm not gonna
lie. They own all their draft picks coming up. They should get that 20 win mark, and I think that's the goal that they're trying to achieve. And then they'll look at like a hard, just a hard reset. All in all, that's what I got for them.
Let me read this super chat real quick. Nelly Phantom says, not to kill the mood, but I've been down the last few weeks, and the Let's Keep It A Buck community has been bringing me back up. Thanks to y'all. Listen, good shit.
Man,
We be seeing you on the spaces, man. Seeing you on the spaces.
Hope everything's getting better, bro. Hope everything's all right.
Hey, with that being said, we got a rap battle tonight.
Who battling?
Not me.
Me and Nelly.
I can't do it. Oh fuck.
You're calling him out when he said he's having a bad time. That's crazy.
And he should never told me that. This
nigga about to go on spaces.
GG's.
You depressed motherfucker. I fuck on your mother. Like nigga, this nigga Omar.
You know my bag, and you know why? Because you're just like me, twin. You're just like me.
Are we doing the draft predictions for them too?
That's the scariest part because I don't know nothing about prospects. Y'all know that.
They have their own draft picks. So honestly, it depends on what they do in these next couple of years. They have the potential, at least in the third year, to be like one of the worst teams. So if they can hit on a guy or two, I just don't think that they've been hitting on. I mean, they haven't had the best picks. So let's see what that organization can do with better picks. But they haven't had the best picks, and they've been missing on some of these picks. I mean, they're NBA players, I guess.
Guys like Lonnie Walker are the epitome of what I think of this franchise because it's like I'm not saying Lonnie Walker is their franchise, but in terms of like how I think the Spurs rebuild has been thus far, it's a guy like Lonnie who everybody I was like, oh yeah, I fuck with Lonnie. Lonnie could be this, that, and then now it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot Lonnie Walker's.
They plateaued. So many of the
I'm like, oh shit, Lonnie Walker is definitely still a Spur. Like I don't even know his numbers to be very blunt with you. I was just like, oh shit,
I don't know his number. So
I don't know. I think it's one. Is it
it's
one?
either 1 or 11. I don't know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know.
Oh shit.
Tings, and wings. Artemis Ting says, "Thank you, boys, for something to listen to while cooking. By the way, I finally found them island fruit snacks, Omar.
Hey, bring them to the house, nigga.
Okay.
Listen."
Hold on, Omar. We got one more super chat. Yeah, Bing Bong. Nigga.
Oh yeah.
Bing Bong.
Oh yeah.
80% with the big Hondo, Big Benji. I'm gonna need them Damo bars tonight. 16 of them.
Hey, I'm there for Benji. I'll be there, buddy. I'll definitely be there.
Fuck.
I'll be in there to spend some more.
W in chat. W in chat for
Rich
Aiden.
Go in the W's in chat.
Aiden in the building.
Aiden in the building. But now I'm looking at the mock draft for at least for this upcoming draft. They're projected to have the 7th pick. Right now, it's saying that they would or should. I don't know how mock drafts are would or should type things, but they're saying Caleb Houston. I definitely would take Patrick Baldwin if I was them. Patrick Baldwin, definitely somebody that's down here worth taking. Kenny Chandler is if somebody makes a move for a first round pick in the mid-teens to later, like the mid-high teens, low 20s, definitely get Kenny Chandler. He's definitely a dope pick. But I would definitely take Patrick Baldwin if I was them with the 7th pick.
I ain't gonna lie to me and Sage right now. These are 2K generics in our ears.
Hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking it as you get 7th overall potential and keep pushing. I wish I wasn't a cash when it comes to the rookies. But
if you can't, the only thing I'll say specifically with a lot of these teams, if you can't get into the top 3, I understand there's some good players because Patrick Baldwin, I believe you, Damo. Like Patrick Baldwin should be nice. Try to stay as bad as you can. Scoot Henderson, this is a Scoot Henderson appreciation podcast. Sounds crazy. Nigga is 17 in the G League right now, averaging like 24 points.
See, that's nasty. I fucking love the G League. I love the concept of the G League.
Listen to what 17 in the G League against grown men, giving them a healthy, and it's not a light 17 Harden style, and no disrespect to Harden. Y'all know I love me some James. He is giving them work at 17 years old, and then going to get lunch milk at 11 a.m. Shit's crazy. So let me ask you this: what is OT Elite? Because I'm kind of confused on like what the purpose of OT Elite is. Should I let somebody else speak? Because I don't know how. It's a similar situation to the G League thing. It's a similar situation to the G League thing. They just have their own separate league. Criticisms of them are the talent that they'll be able to play won't stand up to like the G League Ignite or whatever the case may be. I can say personally right now, they've only been scrimmaging each other. they've only been scrimmaging each other. So it's like,
That's tough.
but they're supposed to play some other prep schools around the country. Maybe like the Donda school, and there's some other schools or whatever around the country. They try to get some international teams to play them. So like the B League teams or whatever in Europe and stuff like that to play them. But similar situation, I think they just might pay more, or there's more roster spots for them to shine, if that makes sense.
Got it. Going back to the Spurs topic while we're still on it, before we move on though, do y'all believe the position Spurs are in is due to a lack of talent compared to the league, or Pop's coaching style in the current league?
It's mismanagement of assets. You went from Kawhi and Danny Green. Hell, a much better roster even before that, but let's just stick to Kawhi and Danny Green to what you have today. Simple mismanagement of assets. The only thing is Jakob isn't as bad as you thought he was, but other than that, it's been an egregious. I don't even need to explain. It's been that bad of management.
I'll say they're just the victims of being mediocre and being a mid-tier team.
That's
the problems of being mid. When you're mid, you don't get high lottery picks. So a lot of those good guys, especially if you don't draft particularly well, if you're drafting based off need a lot of the times, it will take a longer time for a lot of those prospects to become what they need to be. So the Spurs were in situations where they're between 8 and 10 these last couple years. They're just falling middle of the pack. They're getting those 15, 13, that 13 to like 18 draft pick selection slot. If you're not picking a stud at that position, like if somebody doesn't fall, you're drafting your Lonnie Walkers, your Keldon Johnsons, these guys all over the place. It's just a slow process, and we're seeing the problem with that. This lemonade nasty as fuck.
You know how bad it has to be to make nasty lemonade? Can't just put more sugar in it.
And he still takes a sip from it.
Hey, right. Hey, nigga thirsty as hell though.
Let me say this about the San Antonio Spurs. I feel like out of all the organizations, they have been the model. They have been a perfect situation, especially when we're speaking longevity. They fucked up Kawhi.
They did.
Remember, they started with David Rob. They started with Iceman.
George Gervin.
They started with George Gervin, and then they rolled that into David Robinson. And then they rolled David Robinson into Tim Duncan. And then somehow, through sorcery and great scouting and all that, they rolled that into Kawhi Leonard. Mind you, Kawhi, if everything went right, Kawhi Leonard would still be on this team. And they would have been building around Kawhi for the years to come, competing and everything. They fucked up Kawhi Leonard. They messed up right there. And we might be having a different conversation if they didn't. Pop might be coaching for the next 3 years if that didn't happen. But it happened. And now I don't blame them because they had it right. I mean, they hit all the cylinders and everything like that. Pop would have had the most rings as a coach, everything like that. But their transition into the next guy didn't work, and they abruptly had to make another decision, and it's just not hitting at the same time at the end of Pop's career. But with that being said, let's go on to another team that I think, the Southwest Division, I ain't gonna lie, they're a horrible division.